All right, just making sure my microphone was working. Oh no, you went mute for some reason. You went
I'm
mute for
good.
some. There you go. All right.
Oh no,
Hello,
not mute.
guys, and welcome. You're listening to the Evil Hour. I'm Dom slash Rash Traffic, and we are joined as always by.
Hi, my name is Sean Graves.
Absolutely. And today we got a good one for you. We are talking about Return to Silent Hill. Man, this is going to be great. We are glad that you are
Oh
here.
boy.
And if you want to support the show, make sure you are sub, leave 5 stars, and tell a friend to give us a listen. So let's get into it, Sean.
Oh boy. First of all, can we just let's have like a really quick moment to uh just throw out there to our listeners out there. We're doing great. We're doing awesome. I'm totally happy with how episode 1 went down. It was a
Absolutely.
great show up. It was a great show out and everyone has tuned in. And so thank you everyone for listening in.
Yes, thank you.
Um Let's see. Yeah, totally, and, well, what have you been up to
Well, we have
since the
officially,
first episode?
I have been talking about it and been talking about and been talking about. We have officially uploaded the Moto vlog. Unfortunately, I will give you guys a heads up with the first motovlog stuff. I'm not perfect or whatever, and we talked about this off stream.
What
But
nobody is. Nobody's perfect, don't worry about it.
so the microphone I have is cheap. It's kind of crackling, but the good news is we are receiving a new microphone coming Monday, man. So the audio will be perfect, hopefully for y'all, because I'm trying to strive for perfection here. I know you can't be a perfectionist with everything, but as much as Sean knows and that you guys know that has been listening to this podcast, I've been mentioning about this motovlog. And God dang it, I want it perfect for y'all. And I want to make it perfect because I
I
have such
know.
sauce that is coming. So the first video, just to give you guys a little insider, it was just a little, description what you guys are going to be getting into, and pretty much a welcome to the very first official motovlog channel. And I appreciate you guys.
I got to see it, and it's an amazing 6-minute video of, the community, the drive, the ride, um, and like you said, your thesis of what your goal is for the channel, for the project, um, it's on repeat, and it's like, yeah, this is what we're gonna be here
I
for,
I
so I'm totally
really
excited
find
for
it
further
funny
episodes.
because when I am out riding, I do like kind of talk to myself, or whether I'm wearing a helmet or
I do
not.
that
Always
too.
wear a helmet,
Yeah,
by the way. Always wear a helmet. But I kind of like say little things like when I see a car like kind of pulling out, I'm like, don't do it, blah blah. But I ain't gonna lie, when I was actually to talk a little bit about it, if you don't mind, real quick. Um, when I
yeah, no,
was
totally, totally,
actually
this is
in
your
the
space, man.
spot, it was like when I knew, I hate to say it, but I had that thing where it's kind of like when I was first starting live streaming. If you guys know anything about first doing something, either it's YouTube, live streaming, or whatever the hell you're on platform, you kind of know that you're recording. I hate to say it, it made it a little bit more difficult for me to kind of like ride and do that. And I even heard like, oh, if you're not an experienced rider, don't motovlog at all. Mind you guys, I've been riding for going on now 7 years. And you're never an experienced
Okay.
rider. I like to say. I always like to say it because anything can happen. Yeah, you could be riding for
Well,
20
so, like,
years and never
the
do
same
anything.
logic would be yeah, the same logic would be said for me, I've been driving since I was 15.
Yeah,
I'm 37, turning 38 this year,
yeah.
and yes, I'm an experienced driver, but, like, I can't be
Anything
in
can
control
happen.
of everything.
Yep. Whether it's
Anything can
you or
happen.
somebody else.
Yeah,
And I ain't gonna lie, dude. When I was actually
absolutely.
recording, I kind of like, if you notice that some parts of where I was stopping at stop signs, I would quit talking because I was focusing on traffic. I was more like, okay, left's good, right's good. All right, let's
Right.
go. And I'm not gonna lie, like when
I heard you say that, yeah.
yeah, yeah. When I'm not recording, I'm like, all right, But I felt like when I was in the spot, I was just like, hey, yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I do one of those moves, you know. I was just stopping because I was like, all right, like, it's different. It's really different. So, anyway, that's
Yeah.
what's been going on my side, man. We finally did it. I'm so excited. Sorry for the shitty audio, but I promise you it is coming soon. AKA, like I said, Monday, we are getting better audio for the moto vlog. So,
The audio maybe, the audio from your microphone might have been shitty. I liked it. I thought it was a very,
I feel like it makes it more
lo-fi
authentic.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, that music's fire in your background though.
Yo, shout out to this guy, by the way. Yes, forgot about that. Thank you so much for helping me with that. Guys, seriously, Sean
So I
Graves came
was
in clutch
I
with the music.
no, 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 it's the way that, like, I
It
was
fit
watching the
perfect.
video and yeah, no, it really does, but here's the thing is that, like, I didn't realize it was that music that I,
I needed to
produced
turn
for
it up
you
just a wee bit.
until I heard the piano melody, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Sean Graves melody," and I was like, "Oh, it's that weird way of, like" I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but, like, when you hear, like, Slash do a
Yeah.
solo,
Yeah.
you know it's a Slash solo,
Yeah.
okay? Like, there's nobody who plays like Slash, and when you hear a song from a different artist, like, you just know
Oh, yeah.
that's their thing,
Oh, yeah.
and so that's what I was, like, listening to, I was like, "Oh, okay, so he must have, like, found some other music that I didn't meet that deadline for, so my music might be showing up on a different vlog or something like that," and then I heard the piano, I was like, "That's my song." Like, or that's not my song. I gave that song to you, so it's your song, but, like,
No, no,
what I'm
no.
saying
It's your
is, like,
song.
I was like, "Oh, that's my melody." Like, I wrote that
That's
melody.
me. Yeah, no, man. Shout out to
I was
this
like,
guy
"Holy
though.
shit."
Seriously for coming in clutch for me, man, because I was having such a struggle bus. I'm done with like trying to copy free right music. And not only that, dude, the copyright free music is way too high. It was like, bah, you know, you can find different free copyrighted music, but like, dude, nah, it wasn't matching the vibe. Anyway, that is me, man. Sean, what you been up to, brother?
This is how you ask your friends for a favor, and they just do it because they're your
Dude, you came in
friends,
clutch.
you
I
know?
even told this man
Um,
too, by the way, before we get in with you. I even told this man, I was like, look, dude, take your time. I ain't in a rush. Do whatever. This boy had it done in like 2 days, bro. And it was so great. Not even. I think the one you only
you
took a
know,
day on.
honestly, it's It's the way that I operated this studio space behind me, like a fucking like, it was like a
Yeah,
ER
dude.
situation. I was like, "Okay, we got a body in here, let's
Yeah.
fix this guy up and let's
Yeah.
get this thing going." Um, it was so funny how that, like, just kinda, like
Oh, you fucking killed
but
it
you
too.
also gave me, like, good notes, like, what you're looking for and things like that, so, yeah, and, okay, so for me,
Yeah,
okay, so we're still pushing this record out here. I don't know if that's in screenshot, but this
it
record
is.
here, we got a new review in from oh
What is
gosh, let
that
me
on, by the
look
way,
that
so
up
I
real
can link
fast
that?
because it's on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Deezer, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on Amazon Music. My music is everywhere. It's distributed literally everywhere. Um, there has been Illustrate Magazine came out with an amazing review for the album literally yesterday. And it is an amazing write-up about the album. I was like just taken away by the write-up itself.
Yeah.
Um, and again,
Excuse me.
like here's the thing. Oh, bless you.
I'm sorry.
Um, It's the way that I'm just gonna put it out there to you. This album is like, for me, so much more than like any other album that I've ever worked on before.
Oh yeah, man, it's your child, you know?
Um, like just a really cool it really but like every album's been like a child to me, but I
Yeah.
feel like this one here has gotten like the most attention as it should. But
Yeah.
like it's the way that like I feel like this one is like so different than like all the other ones. I don't know if it's the zeitgeist, the fact that I have the time to care or anything like that. But like this is just a paragraph of what the write-up was. And this is from illustratemagazine.com. Post on this returns with Mysticism, a release that fully realizes Sean Graves' vision of both a sonic architect and world builder. Long
Yeah.
regarded as a cult figure within dark electronic circles, Graves pushes his project into more refined and immersive territory here, crafting an album that feels deliberate, cohesive, and deeply atmospheric from start to finish. And I
Yeah,
was
man.
like, "Wow!" Like, and here's the thing, I didn't think about that when I wrote this album. I didn't think about that when I wrote the music. I just was writing music and I just took the best parts and then just made that one cohesive piece of music. So you can
Oh,
listen
good
to
for
it in
you.
parts, you can listen to one song, you can listen to whatever song you want, but like it's just an amazing piece of write up. So thank you to Illustrate Magazine for another glorious review. And that goes out to everybody else who's also helped support the album, the music, the art, the craft, and yeah. So that's honestly like been like the most for this week, really.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
perfect, man. I mean, I'm happy that for you, man. Like I said, like I've been
I'm happy
seeing
for
it.
your blog, for your blog, man.
Yeah, dude. No, no, it's like I once you started coming out with this album and everything, man, it's like I started seeing like the interviews and it's not even the interviews for me. It was just more like you did your CDs, you did your vinyls, um you did your postcards. I had to look at it to think of it. um, and then it's just like, and then I started seeing the interviews, the vending machines, like you're getting your music in stores. I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit! Like he's not only doing it, but he is going for it. And I was like, good, good. It's
Yeah.
like you ain't a true friend if you don't support your brothers. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen that, dude, I was fucking rocking for you, dude. I was like, dude, get it and fucking destroy
Thanks.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. It's been extraordinary, and I wish that at 37 years old, I was doing this as a 27-year-old, but I'm so glad that I have gone through the trials and tribulations of my earlier age to
I
get to a place where I am today where I
I
can do
feel like
this.
I feel like a lot of people struggle with this, and yeah, I even do at the age of 27. And it's more like, oh, well, it's always like too late. Like, oh, I wish I would have done that 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you know. But like, then you see those successful people, and it's like, no, I started this at 57, and people are always like, you're never too old to start, and I feel like
Yeah, and
that's what it
also,
is.
here's the thing though, is that like at 27, when I was 27, I didn't have the opportunities I have today.
Right.
There's so many variables between a decade ago and today that things are a lot easier for me now because of
Right.
the availability, the way that the world works today, as opposed to like over a decade ago. So
Yeah.
that's really been like my week. But let's get into the meat and the grime of this
Yeah.
podcast. Oh, by the way, everyone, if you are not subscribed or like haven't checked into our website, check out theevilhour.com. We have a blog now, so a lot of the folklore that I myself have been doing, and I have been really deep diving in some local lore of California. Some of them are even just like straight up murder mysteries. Also, we are doing we have a Discord, and there I started doing a what would you do in this horrible situation
Hey, by the way, the the
poll.
the live thing is working. By the way, I don't know if you've seen that on
Is
our
it? Okay,
website.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at that
No,
because
no,
I
no. You're
also
good.
was so I was so bored. Let me look at that. I'm
That's pretty
super
cool.
excited about
I was
this.
just typing it in, so we had it for the Twitch and YouTube, so I can link it. And yeah, I just seen it. It says live.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Nice. Fuck yeah. Oh, I'm so glad because I was so bored at work and I was like, let me just do some little HTML
That's
shit.
pretty cool that you did that, though. I love that.
Hell yeah. Um, so we're doing like I've decided to try to integrate our Discord into being offline as well, an offline space. So during a zombie apocalypse, what would you do? Would you fortify the
Yes.
a mall or would you head into the woods? What would you do?
I believe I said fortified the mall because I was like, fuck the woods, dude.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. And by the way, nobody wanted to head into the woods.
There's
So
so many
apparently
opportunities.
the
Like,
woods
granted,
is
you
not a good
get
option.
lumber, you can make a house or do whatever the hell you need to do, make weapons. But like, dude, the woods is so open. Zombies can come in every single point. And don't get me wrong, so is a mall. I understand a lot of people go like, so is a mall. But man, let me tell you what, like I could find a lot more resources in a mall than I would be able to in the woods besides lumber, or rocks
It
or
reminds me
whatever.
of like it reminds me of well, my inspiration was from Dawn of the Dead,
Bro, you're gonna laugh at this
where
right
they
now. Hold on. I got a nosebleed, dude.
oh no.
I knew I did it
Are you
too.
okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I knew I did it
Do
too
you need a
because
break?
no, I'm good. I hit my nose ring against my nose. Every single time.
Oh.
Every single time.
I was like, "Dude, do you need to get some, like, water and, like,
No,
hydrate? Like,
I'm all right.
hydrate before you dehydrate, bro."
No, it's all good. Every time I hit my nose ring, dude, it's bound to happen. I did that this morning too before work.
Ugh.
Anyway, you can keep
Oh, that
talking. I'm
sucks.
good. I'm just gonna be over here real
You're fine.
quick. Dude, we have
So,
never a dull
my
moment.
my inspiration was Dawn no, it's never a dull moment with us. Dawn of the Dead, where, the whole thing takes place in a mall,
Yeah.
and they have the conversation, "Should we stay here or should we go out and face, like,
I feel like
whatever
that's how
unknown is
Dead
out
Rising
there?"
started, or not Dead Rising. What was
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? Is it Dead
The
Rising?
mall video game? Yeah,
Yeah,
Dead Rising,
yeah, Dead
yep, mhm,
Rising. Yeah, bro.
yeah, mhm,
Classic, by the way. Funny little zombie
yeah.
game, but
It was riding on that wave of, like, Left 4 Dead, Zombie Island, and,
Dead Island.
oh,
Yeah.
no, Dead Island. Dead Island. I always say Zombie Island for some reason, I don't know why. Um, Dead Island and then Dead Rising was another one,
Oh
so I
yeah.
always felt like if you weren't playing Dead Island, you were probably playing Dead Rising for some reason.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Um,
let's get
okay,
right into
so
it. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Return to Silent Hill. Okay, so about a year ago,
Yeah.
a younger us, about a season ago, were super excited about a new movie called Return to Silent Hill, directed by the great Christoph Gans. Um, he was the director of the first Silent Hill movie, which was none other than, we'll say, a slight box office hit. Slight box office hit.
Which
I remember
I'll
when the
be
movie
honest
came
with
out in
you,
theaters.
the best one, hands down, honestly.
It
It
really
wasn't
is.
good. It wasn't
Yeah,
good, but it was definitely like if I would put on a Silent Hill movie, that one. It's pretty damn good
that's the
though.
one. Um. Oh shit! Hold on one second.
Yeah, no, you're
Give me
fine.
1 second. Give
While
me
you
1
do
second. Give
that,
me
I'll
one
talk.
second.
So yeah, so with the what we were talking about with the very first Silent Hill is at least in my rating, I would honestly give that 8. Like granted, it wasn't based off of the I mean it
There is
was.
also
Ooh,
a
there you go.
book
Yeah.
of the same movie that
Yeah, you're gonna do this.
we happen to have watched, right? So we were led to believe that Return to Silent Hill was going to be like a return to form, if you will, kind of film. Um, that did not happen. And I read this book. I read this book front page to front page, or front page to back page, and the book is completely different than the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that by like it's literally written. It's the same script as it's written by Christoph Gans, Sandra von Ahn, and William Schreiber.
Yeah.
Schneider, sorry, Schneider, not Schreiber, Schneiber. And then that script was put into novelization by one John Passaria, and the book did a lot more justice to the movie than the movie did to the actual script. I'll just put it like that,
Well,
okay?
to
Um,
start off real quick with the movie,
yeah.
we get an introduction of uh, James Sunderland, which
Which wait. Before we even get into the movie,
Oh,
quick
okay.
question.
Yeah, what's up?
'Cause you and I both went to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
We had this experience called watching a movie,
Yep.
and, I remember walking out, I think a week before you went to go see it,
Yeah.
and I remember telling you, "This is not your father's Silent Hill." There was a whole moment where, like, the boyfriend unit and I were talking in the car driving back,
I
like,
was
an hour later
pissed.
to home, and the boyfriend unit was like I remember telling the boyfriend unit, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I just saw. Like, I don't know what that experience it was an experience. I could tell you what I saw, but I don't know what I saw.
I remember telling my wife, if we're going to that experience real quick before we get into the movie, was I remember telling my wife, I looked at her. Well, one, I was bitching like hardcore, and she was just laughing.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah.
I was even doing it in the movie theater. I'm like, what the fuck? We'll jump into that later. Anyway,
Mhm.
I remember looking at her at one point, and I literally told her, I said, if you would have been like, hey, this isn't, and by the way, we never walked out of a movie theater before, but I even told her, I was like, if you would have told me,
I
like,
have.
hey, this isn't it, can we go? I even told her, I was like, yeah. I was like, I honestly was
Mhm.
I even told her, I was like, I was honestly hoping that you would have been like, can we leave? Because I was not about that. Anyway,
Oh.
going from the first thing. So we get introduction by, and I'm going to make a pause here again. um, James Sunderland, quote unquote, if that's what you would call him, who is apparently a painter and is smoking pot and a Mustang. Not only a Mustang, but
Okay,
yeah.
wait. Right out the gate, before you even know it's James driving in a Mustang, I knew this film was filmed overseas because of the white tick marks on the fucking road. And
Oh, I didn't
then
even notice
the
that.
pan to
Really?
like yes. So
Oh,
this film was filmed in it's overseas. Hold on one second.
no, you're fine.
Um I wrote it down.
While I look for that, I will.
Oh yeah. It was filmed in Germany and Serbia.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, here's some information about the film that we all may need to remember as we go through this, okay? So it was directed by Christoph Gans of the first film, written by Christoph Gans, Sandra Van Ahn, and Will Schneider. Music by the great Akira Yamaoka, who did a wonderful music production.
Okay.
Starring Jeremy Irvine, who plays James, who, I mean, the only other movie he
James.
did was Mamma Mia. Yeah. Hannah Emily Anderson, who played Maria, Mary, and Angela,
My
which,
wife caught on
by the
that.
way,
I didn't.
give it
Oh
give it to
no,
her.
my wife hated
She
her.
no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you watch it a second time,
Yeah.
knowing that the actress had to hold down 3 separate characters, she holds down
I
3
knew the
separate
two,
characters.
but on the
She knew
way
the
home,
assignment.
my wife told me that she played Angela as well. I was like, oh fuck, that one I didn't even recognize that that's who that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my
Yeah.
wife hates her as an
Okay,
actor, so yeah, no, she was not about it when she seen her.
yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, a lot of these actors, they haven't really done, like, a whole lot, um, to be fair, and that's even, like, the background artists, the
Yeah.
background actors and actresses who were, like, throughout the film a little bit. Um, Pierce Egan played Eddie, and
Yeah.
Evie Templeton played Lara.
Okay.
Okay. The production was by Davis Films, Electronic Shadows, Supermix, and Whip, which, by the way, I'm gonna throw it out there. Now that I watched it a second time around, here's my thing. Watching Resident Evil films and then watching another Davis Films that's, Silent Hill,
Right.
I kinda noticed that after, like, the 2nd or 3rd, like, production company, when there's, like, 4 to 5 different production companies, this is when I know we're in B movie territory.
Right.
'Cause, like, no one wanted to sign on to it, but then, like, enough people signed on to it that now we have, like, this whole thing of like people who want to just be known that they were, yeah. The budget was $23 million, and the box office as of today is 47.8 million.
Which that pisses me off, but I understand why it's that number because you you did a movie based off of two. Did.
Yeah. Question. Do you have any positives about the movie? Okay, well then we'll go off of mine. So,
I honestly
so
well,
I know I
if I uh I do, I guess. Hold on. I guess I will. The only po- the only positive that I was no, actually I don't. Fuck it. No, I was gonna say the
Okay, well,
yeah,
I'm gonna
no, I
start.
don't. Yeah,
Maybe,
go.
maybe you will agree with my few. I have 5 positive things about this movie.
All
Okay.
right, I'm just gonna throw this out here ahead. If I don't agree with them, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just I.
Nope.
All right, but I will tell you if I
It's
agree.
totally okay to have your. It's a totally okay to have your own opinion.
I
That
respect
is
that. As
how
a
this
friend,
podcast
I'm
has
just letting
always
you know. I'm not
operated.
trying to be like, well,
Yeah,
my opinion's right or yours is right. As a friend, I'm just letting you know. I will be real with you. So,
but
all
we
right.
all know that my opinion's better, right?
You're right. You're right. At least you have an opinion. I don't. I fucking don't. I'll just judge you. All right. Let's hear it. What's number one?
Okay. The movie at least has atmospheric cinematography.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nope. You're right about that. I will give you that. That
Okay.
first beginning where it was over the trees and the sky and was like we turned to silent, beautiful, straight
Yes.
cinema. I will give you. See, I was thinking
Beautiful.
specifically like, oh, what points in the movie? I mean, which I imagine you will,
No, no, no,
which you would know.
just
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. No,
Okay.
I agree. I agree. All right.
Okay.
Next one.
Okay. Faithful creature designs.
Yeah. All right.
So, like, the rat
That was
bodies,
crazy.
Pyramid Head, of course,
That was
comes
crazy.
back.
The
Those
nurses,
are pretty
but you can't
cool.
really
Yeah.
fuck that up when you brought them in all three movies. I mean, you really can. But speaking of which,
Bug
we're wearing
the
our.
bug creatures. Oh, hey. Oh, I
Yeah.
should have worn mine.
It
I was
wasn't
gonna
even
say,
on
I
purpose.
really like your t-shirt.
Yeah, it wasn't even on purpose.
I was gonna say, I really like your t-shirt. Um, because I just see like a red stripe and I was like, that is really freaking cool. Um,
Official
that is
Konami,
sick.
by the
That
way.
is sick. Nice. Okay, my third bullet point is that Akira Yamaoka's music
Soundtrack, absolutely. It
fits
was
the
there.
Sonic world.
It was there.
It's not Akira Yamaoka's music with some other composer weaving their bullshit music
Right.
to it, like
No, it was
yeah,
there.
Silent Hill Revelations. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here's another one. Here's my fourth bullet. My fourth positive thing is that there's occasional video game to movie references. Like when he's in the bathroom and like the camera does that like
Yeah,
curve
and he.
with like the urinals. Or, for example, little deep cuts like when he before he even walks in, there's like that cockroach that like waddles off, and that's like Silent Hill PT.
Oh, I didn't even associate that.
Yeah, like there's little somethings that like Christoph Gans uh did that was like little nods to little things like that, you know?
Okay.
Okay, and
So far, I'm
so
agreeing with
so
all
I
this.
like
So
that like it just like in the first movie when Rose walks in and the camera comes back and up and then goes back down and into the next
yeah,
part of the alleyway, just like the video game. He did the same
I thought
thing.
that's what
He
he
brought
was
that to this.
trying to do. I got that feeling, but I was
Yeah.
just kind of like, you could better just a little bit. But that's just me. And
Yeah.
by the way, guys, I
Yeah.
while I am judging this movie because I feel like you have more of a positive than I do. I'll tell you right now, just to get this out of the way, I fucking hated it. Don't watch it. Don't give him your money. But I feel like you have more of a positive. With that being said, though, and don't just well that's the podcast and leave type stuff because we got some gold. I got some golden in here. I got some golden in here. But with that being
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I'm not asking for 100% accuracy from the video game. I'm not. But dude, I'm just gonna throw this out here, just get it out of the way, bro. I felt like it wasn't even 10%, and I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" Like, what? The only
I
the
actually
only
wrote down
five
about that.
percent was literally the game characters' names. That's it. Anyway, all
Yeah,
right, let's continue on. Let's
yeah.
continue on.
Okay. The last positive thing that I have to say is that there were ambitious practical sets
As
that
in,
were used. So, for example, like, well, the exterior shots, like a lot of the forest, a lot of
I felt
the
the atmosphere when it was happening. Like I said, it
yeah,
had me hooked at the beginning. Like you said, it was the forest scene, the apartment scene. I was like, oh, this is it, and we'll get to
yeah,
the other stuff later.
yeah. So here are actually I have 6 negative things, so one more
Let's
than
hear it.
positives. Weak visual effects such as like the fog, the green screen, the very like
Wig,
remember this little gem of a movie called Green Lantern
yeah,
and how it was supposed to be three-dimensional and things like that. And there's just this uncanny valley that happens when all the imperfections are gone on a green screen, and then you have someone standing in a green screen set, and you just know
it's a green
that's
screen.
not a real set.
Well,
That is not a
our
real
worst
building.
fear happened to us, which was when we were seeing the trailers. We saw her with a wig, and we're like, hopefully, it looks more like hair,
Yeah,
and it was 100%. No, they kept the wig. They kept the wig.
yeah.
Continue on.
They kept multiple wigs. They kept multiple wigs. Um, yeah, so there's a bit of an uncanny valley situation going on with this movie, where if you feel like the people are disattached from their environment, it's probably because it looks that way. Um, So, okay, they stripped the psychological depth,
Yeah.
such as it felt more like a monster parade of like, oh, here's the rat bodies. Oh, here's Pyramid Head.
The
Oh,
best
here's a
way I
needler from
describe this to
Homecoming.
my
Wink, wink.
friends who love all the Silent Hill movies but haven't watched Return to Silent Hill, and by the way, well, I shouldn't say all the Silent Hill movies. There's technically only 3 now. But anyway, who absolutely love Silent Hill movies but never played the games. The best way I
Yeah,
describe this movie to those kind of people, if you never played the games, you'll actually love this movie. So for those of you guys who are listening out there who never played the remake or the original, which I highly recommend the original over the remake, although the
yep.
remake was damn good. To this day, shout out to
Oh
the
yeah.
Berber team. Seriously, they shocked the fuck out of me out of that remake, but it will never beat the classic, obviously, you know. But with that being said, if you
Yeah.
never played the games, this movie would honestly be great. I really do feel that way.
Mhm.
If I'd never seen Silent Hill or played Silent Hill, I think this movie would have been like, whoa, you know. The fact that I
Yeah.
know what Silent Hill 2
Yeah.
is, continue.
Okay, so caveat. So the day after the boyfriend and I watched Return to Silent Hill, and I was just like you, having a whole conniption fit on the drive home, going like, "What the fuck experience did
I
I just
remember when
have?"
I called you on the way
Um,
home. I was still driving.
I don't know. The
You
next
were just
morning,
laughing at me,
I
by the
loaded up
way.
YouTube. I know. No.
Because you knew.
I
You
loaded
knew.
up. It was a. I know. I know. Um,
Anyway, you loaded up.
I loaded up on YouTube all the cutscenes of Silent Hill, the original. Okay. And I sat the boyfriend down on the couch and I said, "This is going to be over a 2-hour movie, but this has to be done because I cannot
Cutscenes are
have you
two
watch that
hours.
movie and think all of them, all the cutscenes."
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I did
And
that to
I
my
even
one
did
buddy,
the
man.
remake.
I did that to my one buddy. He played the
Yeah.
remake, but so by the way, the remake was his very first Silent Hill. And I was like, yeah. By the way, he has not beaten it yet, but I was like, dude, here's the original. And when he seen it, he was like, holy fuck. I was like, yeah, dude, like that's what I
Mhm.
played when I was a kid. And you're playing this.
Right.
Which again, nothing against the remake
Yeah.
by saying that. Remake was honestly, I would give the remake compared to the original 95%. Like almost there.
Absolutely.
It was damn close.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the boyfriend, after he watched the cutscenes from the video game, um, yeah, he walked away, I think, feeling the same way. He was just like, "Oh, I
This is not
understand
it. Yeah.
why you feel a certain kind of way about that movie you just saw this weekend, because these are apples and oranges. These are not the same thing." Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I have as a negative is that they changed the lore in the movie. The most quintessential thing that they
Ooh,
changed
before we
was
deep dive
that
into this. Uh,
James and Mary are not even married.
okay, you're
They're
saying
just
that
boyfriend
part.
and
All right.
girlfriend. They're just boyfriend and girlfriend. And I was like, bro,
Yeah.
37, and this guy is so hard over on this woman
Yeah.
that is the end all be all.
The only
And it's not that
thing
it's
that
because
I
she
say
died
they
of
got
cancer.
accurate of
It's
that
just
shit.
that
Yeah. No, hold on. We'll get no, we'll get into that later. I'm gonna cut you off there. But real quick, the only
yeah,
thing I feel like they got accurate out of this whole movie, and again, we'll get into it once you're done with your negatives real quick. Because I like to start from the
yeah.
beginning and go through. But if you don't mind. But
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
the
no,
only thing
totally.
I felt like they got accurate out of this whole movie is how he became an alcoholic because James did, which I feel
I
like
wrote that down too.
okay, good,
I
good,
wrote that down too. Yeah, I
because
noticed
that's
that.
what
Yeah.
happens. I feel like that's I don't want to say people go to substances when their spouse dies or whatever happens, but in the game, that's what
There are
happened.
coping there are coping mechanisms that do tend to
Right.
seep in
But in
when
the
people
game, that's
deal
what
with
he did.
trauma.
So in
Yeah.
the movie, when he was doing that, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, there you go. You're on track again. Now you're losing it. What? Like you lost it.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
I specifically wrote down the quintessential part is that James's dead wife died 3 years ago. Oh, I see the snake. Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that's right.
Um, and that is and that is why he's here today, because he got a letter from his dead wife who died 3 years ago. In this movie, I met this girl named Mary. We dated for a little bit, and she died of
That shit
cancer,
crazy.
and I got a letter from her. And by the way, it's the way that that letter was so boiled down to like the bare fucking minimum, and that
They
was the
couldn't even
call to
copy
action.
that, dude.
Um,
That's what pissed me off. Is they couldn't even copy that.
the bare, the bare minimum. Like,
Like, I'll be honest with you. I know we keep on bringing up the remake here, but the only thing that pissed me off about the remake, and this is so out topic, is the fact that they didn't include the pizza scene. I was so hoping to see
oh,
that in the remake, bro. That shit had me so pissed when they didn't impose that.
how can you just sit here and eat pizza,
Yeah,
rat?
I was so hoping for that in the movie. I was like, oh my god, which again we'll deep dive into because they don't even show
No,
any.
no, no, that's asking too much of Eddie. Eddie does not show up for even nearly that much time.
Yeah, we'll get
So,
into it after
um,
you're done.
mm. Okay, my fourth negative feedback about this film is that it has dull pacing, and the script,
Oh, is what you
it
want to say.
barely connects as a
It
sequence.
doesn't
The
even
the this
know.
this does more
I'm ready to
justice
read that.
as a script. This does more justice as a script than that damn movie did as a script.
As we're
Somebody
talking
who is in
about this,
editing needs to get fired.
this is a perfect time to me to bring this up. Is for people who and I brought this to the other side of my friends who have played the game and watched
Mhm.
the movie. Um, the best way I could describe how Chris fucking made this movie is I think I explained this to you. If not, this is the first time that you're hearing this and you might get kicked out of it.
Okay.
It was like if you were Chris Gaines, right? Or no, fuck it. Let's say if I was, right? And you were the guy and you're like, hey, you never played Silent Hill 2. Watch me play this game. We're going to make a movie out of it. And that's like me getting on my phone and scrolling through TikTok and you're like, hey, man, pay attention to this part. This is really important. I'm like, hey, yeah. Oh. And then I'm like, writing down. Okay. and then going back to like TikTok or something, scrolling through my phone, and you're like, "Hey man, are you paying attention?" And be like, "Oh, oh."
This is the
That's
important
how I
part.
feel like Chris fucking made this movie. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay, so I already mentioned James and Mary aren't even married, and this completely f's the whole plot away.
Yeah.
Okay, so the James as P head, Pyramid Head, right? That whole scene, I love a movie that spells it out, and that is supposed to be sarcastic because the problem with this film is that when it comes to non-quintessential things that like, okay, have you ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that the end of the movie is actually the beginning of the film?
Right. Yeah, that blew my fucking mind, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So, imagine, okay, that you and I just saw Pulp Fiction in the movie theaters for the first time, right?
Mhm.
And the sequence of how that movie is built is a little here and there, right?
Yeah.
But the whole story is a whole contained story,
Right.
right? When we if imagine, if you will, you and I go into the car, and I'm riding passenger, you're driving, and I'm just like, wait a minute. So are you telling me the end of the film was actually the beginning of the film, and that scene when John Travolta is in different clothes at the bar? Oh, see, that's the kind of shit I like, is
Oh
when a
yeah.
movie doesn't
Mind fuck.
spell it out for you. It leaves you with stuff to talk about
Oh, hi,
outside the movie
Mark.
theater, right? It's the way that I hate how this film, the things that it should really pay attention to,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It pushes it away. It pushes all that information away. But then, like, the one thing, such as like how Pyramid Head is supposed to represent the judgment of James,
James.
the judge and jury and executioner of James's guilt.
Right.
It's
You talking about
completely
this right
spelled
now
out
makes me
for
want to
you,
replay the fucking game. I just want you to know. But Jesus, man. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And and I really hate a film that dumbs me down,
Yep. And they did.
completely insults my
They
intelligence.
did.
Do not insult my intelligence as an audience, because if you do that, I'm not doing this again.
By the way, I just want to
That is
point
the
out,
second.
we'll talk about it when we later on get into the film and everything. But what did I say about
Yeah.
the Angela part? Because I fucking knew it. I pointed that out.
Yes.
I knew Chris out of this whole movie, spoiler alert here, was going so focused on that part that he has to videotape the detail. And it's like, we get it, dude. We know what we know.
Mhm.
Like, I get it. Nobody, I mean, this is for the people who hasn't played the game and everything. But I knew they were going. I even warned my wife. I was like, "Watch, he's gonna pay so attention." Like, by the way, she has been. What is a nice way to put it for internet wise? She has been.
Um,
I would like to put it in a nicer term for internet.
yeah, I'm trying to think of a good way of putting it.
Anyway, let's just say her
Her
dad
dad
just.
sucks.
Yeah, yeah, her dad sucks. Let's just
Her
say
dad
that.
sucks as a
But
human
I
being.
even pointed out,
Yeah.
I think in our podcast before the movie came out, I even pointed out to my wife, I was like, watch, Chris is going so focused on that part. And when that scene popped up, I was like, oh, look at that. It was like, oh, yeah, I described just a teeny bit here, not to trigger anybody, but it's like, oh, yeah, her dad's hands are reaching up. And it's like, there it is. They're fucking it. Of course, you would focus on that part. You
It
sick
is.
fuck, bro. Like, out of the whole
You
movie, you
know,
could have
it's a
focused on
very.
that's the little detail you want to do.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in comparison, but I mean, if you're going to a horror movie
Yeah.
and like you watch a movie like Audition, which in itself is also a pretty
Yeah.
sick movie
Yeah.
in like what happens.
Right.
What I mean, like that little visual there, it's not really too
It's not.
jarring,
It's
but
not
like
graphic.
in the house of horror movies, again, like I said, do not insult my intelligence
Hmm.
as an
And
audience
that's what the
member
problem
that
is. It made
this
me
is
feel
what.
dumb. Like, oh, that's what happened to Angela.
Yeah.
And granted, this is coming from both
Yeah.
people who played the
Yeah.
game and understood what happened to her and, whatever.
Yeah.
But I felt like even if I didn't play the game, they dumb played that scene so much where I'm like, okay, bro, like I get it.
Yeah.
And they just had like dumb
Yeah.
play it, and it just made me feel like not again for the people who never watched the movie and was listening to our podcast. It's not graphic or anything, and I know the way I'm making it sound
No.
like it's very graphic. It's not at all. But they don't
It's
play
so
it
far
down
removed.
where it's just
Yeah.
like we get it, bro. Like,
Again, it's a monster parade.
yeah,
It's a monster
exactly,
parade
exactly.
because it's like after you're done with Pyramid Head and then there's the whole hotel,
Mhm.
when they're in the hotel,
Yeah,
um he runs into that room with Angela sitting on the bed,
yeah.
and I know where we're going from
Oh
here.
yeah,
Again, like, don't insult my intelligence, but at the same time, don't make it a blink and you miss
right.
the creature, the monster
Absolutely.
creature, you know what I mean? And that's even sitting on my own home couch, I was like, if I don't pay attention as I'm writing down these notes,
Mhm.
I was like, "Dude, blink and you miss it." It's literally a
Oh,
monster parade.
by the way,
That's what this film is.
was that? You got another one or?
That's it. Those are
Oh,
those were
okay.
my
So
negatives.
what I want to go into real quick. So from the beginning is so James is smoking pot and a Mustang, right?
He's an
And
artist, yeah.
And yeah, and he has paintings in the back, which already like blew my mind because I'm like, okay, so why like again, and
You know what?
I'm not judging, but like
Give a
James
man gi
doesn't smoke pot in the game, so why all of a sudden is he smoking and driving? By the way, he is in a black Mustang. Just to point this out to you again, I'm not asking for 100% accuracy here from the beginning of the movie, but
they were so proud.
in the game, bro,
They were so proud of that
dude,
Mustang.
they really were, bro. And it was a drop top
Yeah.
out of all of it, by the way. What the fuck? And it was a '05. Like you couldn't even do the newer ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this again, I'm not asking for 100% accuracy, but in the game, he drives a 1977 Pontiac. I can never say it. Ventura, and it's like, so how the
Ventura.
yeah, and again, it's like I'm not asking to have that car in the movie, but at least have a green car, have a Cutlass, have a Oldsmobile, have a I think an Oldsmobile is technically it. But yeah, like have something.
Out of a 20 question.
Yeah.
Out of a $23 million budget, do you think they coulda gotten that car?
Bro, you could have just CGI it in. Like dude, you put a fucking wig on a bitch. Like you could have.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. There's already enough CGI in this goddamn
There
film.
is. There
We
really
don't
is.
need a fucking
There
car for
really
this.
is. But goddamn, bro, you could you like bring the Mustang in and throw a green screen over that motherfucker, even though that's CGI. But it's still like I don't do something, bro. Get a fucking wrecked '77 Ventura, dude. Anyway, so basing off of that, he meets his fucking girlfriend, or at this point, a woman, and so they go on their little tantrum, and I'm going to skip a little bit here. But anyway, he's starting to learn things about his girlfriend that he didn't really know was about. They meet up in the apartments. Let's go to that scene if you don't mind. I know I'm kind of skipping through here if you don't mind, but let's go to
Can I read
apartment.
you what I wrote?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
I wrote down, "James is an artist who drives a Mustang. He has a therapist who is up his ass." Because as someone who,
Yes. Even
I
Sarah, or
have
even my
told
wife
people.
pointing that out. She's like, why does he have a
Yeah,
therapist
so
now?
not only just that, no, okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna give a artistic pass to the fact that he's an artist, um,
Right.
and
I
that he
did too.
has a therapist. Because to be honest, James is pretty much a blank slate through the whole game. Okay, he operates best with not having a personality, um, and it's just the way that like James has a therapist who's like die. I have never had a therapist phone call me unless I
Right.
missed an appointment.
Right.
This bitch is fucking calling and she's just like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm doing it again."
Yeah, he's like, I'm at the bar. Let me get fucking kicked out because I have a problem and started some shit.
Right, yeah. Oh, also, he's a vodka man. I always thought
Yes.
James was more of a whiskey man.
Yeah, in the game they even talk about him drinking whiskey and shit.
I thought he was a whiskey man because in the video game behind the bar, it's a bottle of whiskey.
Right, right.
I would never have pegged him as a vodka man. I don't know. Anyway, apparently he can also throw a metal pipe like a batarang towards a
Yeah,
monster.
dude.
That motherfucker just chucked that shit towards
Oh yeah, dude. So going on, so we go to the apartments, bro, and we get our
Yeah.
introduction of Eddie. I was like, fuck yeah. And honestly, the guy who played Eddie,
Oh, yeah, 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 I
I
wrote
felt
something
like he
about
could have
Eddie. Yeah,
I felt like he could have cooked there. But here's my problem with that. We get introduced by Eddie and Laura at the same time, which happens at the apartments,
fine. That's
technically.
fine, that's fine, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not complaining about
Yeah,
that. Here's the problem though. After they go through all their bull crap, Pyramid Head shows up again at the apartments, which is accurate to the game. Um
why is Eddie the voice of reason in this scene?
not only
Eddie is
that,
the voice of reason in this scene. He literally goes, "Oh man, you woke him up," and it's like,
yeah,
wait a minute, why is Eddie all of a sudden the voice of reason in this fucking scene? He
not
should
only
not have
that,
anything to do with any of that. Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
about you, but when I was first playing this game as a teenager, as a kid, as whatever age of you are, I'm talking about the original or even hell, the remake you could say, but mainly the original I'm
sure.
saying here. Eddie isn't a dick until towards the ending of the game. Why all of a sudden he is a
Yeah,
fucking bastard at the beginning of the movie? And
yeah,
by the way, spoiler alert, the first time you see Eddie is the final time you see Eddie, which pisses me off.
yeah.
Yeah, literally what
He
Sean
has
said
so much
there. He was
potential.
like, "Oh, you woke him up," or what did he say? Or you
"Oh, you did it again.
yeah,
You woke him back up," or some to that
yeah.
effect. It was
And by the
some to
way,
that
he
effect. I don't know. I can
leaves
find it in this book
and
here.
that's it. That is it.
Yeah,
Never comes back.
no.
And
I'm flipping through the book to see if I have written down anything note-wise. I didn't. Okay, anyway. I'm that kind of reader. I just flip through the book. I don't even like I know some readers, they, like, write, like, notes off to the side for future references, but, um, let's see. Yeah, that's all I wrote about Eddie was that he is the voice of reason in the whole film,
really,
which he is not. Eddie represents the shadow of James
in the film,
in the game. That is his character arc. He is someone who committed murder
right?
and
Yeah,
assault and ran away from his responsibility just like James did. But the thing is that James doesn't integrate with his shadow. That's why at the movie theater or at the bowling lanes, right, depending on what version of Silent Hill you play,
right,
when at the apartment, James says, "Hey," or no, 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 I'm sorry. Eddie says, "Hey, let's go and do this thing together." And James goes, "No, I can't.
right,
I think
right.
it'd be best if I just went alone."
Yeah.
But then later on in the game, James goes, "Hey, let's go together." And Eddie goes,
No.
"No, why would
Yeah.
I join you?"
I never
It's
realized
because
that.
it's because, like, the ego and the shadow, because James is your ego. James
Right.
is always the ego, but the
Right.
shadow is now repulsed, repressed, sent away, and when he reaches back out and says, "Hey, come and join me," the shadow goes, "No,
Damn,
you
I
did
never
not want anything to
realized
do with
that.
me, so best of luck to you." And then later on down the line, when the shadow finally says it tries to
Right.
take over the ego,
Right.
it's that moment where Eddie goes, you're not any better than me.
Oh my god, I never I
Yeah, I
mean, he
did
does
this.
say that.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and he throws it back at James, and James goes, "I'm nothing like you." And
And then
that's
that's when
why
it
when
pisses him
Eddie and
off.
James
Yeah.
Right. And that's why when Eddie and James finally duke it out and James goes, "Oh, I killed a human being." That should be the first click in your head that, "Oh,
We're talking about the game here,
something's
bud.
not right here."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the game, not the movie. But like that we're missing all of this in the goddamn movie.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, hold on. By the way, if you want
You
to
had the
continue on.
opportunity to pull off. Oh, you're fine. I'm just saying that like Christoph Gans had an opportunity to make this a part of the film and he had an opportunity to insert as much as little or as much as possible of the there's plenty of movies that have done it before. A really good example of it would be Fight Club. And um he had that opportunity and he didn't do it. And not to sound like a whiny fan, but don't how did I write it down here? Oh yeah. Don't sacrifice a strong character. I'm gonna say it again for Dom when he comes back, because it's very prevalent for many other actor or characters in this film too. But yeah, that's like the big pinnacle part to Eddie and his dynamic in the story, vice how it plays out in the book, let alone the movie. Um, so yeah, like it's it's just really telling. It's really really telling. Um, yeah. We'll just wait until, Dom comes back, hopefully. Um, hold on. Let me check the stream, make sure everyone's fine, everyone's okay. Da 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 da. By the way, stay tuned. We're gonna be doing some local folklore for the stream. Also, check out the website, theevilhour.com, where you can watch past VODs, past podcasts. You can also check out blogs, and as well as join our Discord, where we have fun polls and talk about the episodes here. Offline as well as online, general chat, and all sorts of stuff as well. Oh, I am kind of thirsty. Oh, I'm drinking sangria, guys. Nothing too amazing. Let me see if I can find that sentence. It's this book is actually pretty well made for the most part. The chapters are really really thin. So if you are not really a reader, but you want to read a book that has a little bit more meat than the movie itself, I would suggest, like, literally chapter 7 is 2 pages. That right there is, like, literally a whole scene. A lot of the, books, or a lot of the chapters, are pretty much written as such. Um, let's see if I can find that part with Eddie in it. There's a lot more that has to deal with the cult, which I know, um, Rastrophic is gonna have a whole thing to talk about. Okay, I was looking through the book here to see if I could find exactly what um uh Eddie said in the movie,
Yeah.
but it's like I'm 11 chapters deep and I'm like at the we're not even at the blasted hotel. It's fine. So yeah, what I was I was also mentioning I think the moral to Eddie, as well as a couple of other characters in this film, is, and I wrote this down on my notes. Personal note, exclamation point. Don't sacrifice strong characters.
Yeah. And again, I'm
Yeah,
not asking for
right?
100% accuracy with the movie, man, but it's like after Apartments, I was really hoping for the whole him going to the park scene, meeting up with Laura on the, the what do you want to call it? The
Yeah.
wall, I mean, which
Which
technically he
happens. It
does, yeah.
happens.
Because
Yeah.
what bothered me was the picture was backwards, on the graffiti on it, which that bothered me. But it was like it just
Yeah.
jumped to it because then it's just like, oh, he meets Maria, and then by the way, can we talk about Havana Nights? Can we talk about that? It's not a strip club. It's a fucking cult. Now I forgot about the main part of the
I wrote
movie.
this. Yeah, Evans Night is a local club and not a gentleman's club, as
Yeah,
we have all known it to be, you know? Um, and all the locals are in the cult again.
yeah.
Like, I
Why
put
is the
dot, dot,
cult
dot
the
again.
main thing I even told my wife before this movie, my main thing why I love Silent Hill 2 so much is it was its own story. And that's what made it rich. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the Silent Hill story. I love the whole cult thing. I mean, it's Silent Hill. How did it started? But the thing that I love about Silent Hill
Yeah.
2 is it was Silent Hill, but it was a lover's story. I mean, it's like I hate to say it, but it's like if you took the actually I don't know why I'm making this comparison now, but this just popped into my head. Welcome to ADHD. But it's like you had the Titanic happen, and then you had the movie The Titanic. And the thing that I loved about Silent Hill was it was like the movie. It was like you had a lover story, and it was so fucked up, and he was so fucked up. And it was so like it was just beautiful. It was a perfect psychological
Yeah.
story. And then you had the movie, and it's like it wasn't they brought the movie Silent Hill 2 movie, they brought it back to what Silent Hill was a cult thing. And
Yeah.
this is the part where I explained earlier. This is why I feel like Chris wasn't knowing anything about the game, because I feel like he's like, yeah, I know Silent Hill. And he's just scrolling through his phone and he's like, oh yeah, this is the main part. Let me just write that down real quick. And then I'm like, no, you clearly don't know, because the thing that about Silent Hill 2 was it was its own story about a guy
So,
who
my I guess
fucked
my
over
next
his wife
question
who
I
was
guess my
dying.
question to you would be, so we know that the first film was made by Christoph Gans, and it was a smash. The second film was not made with Christoph Gans,
Oh,
and it
was
was a
it?
tanker. It was not.
Oh, well, yeah, that one was
No.
not based off of 3 whatsoever, by the way. I mean, I'll say that right off the rip. Like, it was, but it wasn't. The only part that
Yeah.
was, again, the characters. There was Heather, there was a detective. Besides that, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, there was a lot that was there. We, as even a podcast, have not even covered that movie yet.
Oh,
So,
we
buckle up,
haven't.
buckaroo, because 'cause we're gonna be renting that. We have not.
Oh, I'm gonna have
No.
to rewatch that then, because, yeah,
No.
it's been a minute.
Same here. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
it's
have to
been
do, like, a watch party and
Yeah,
just
absolutely. We should do that.
watch
That'd
it.
be cool. Yeah, no, I actually seen that one in theaters, and I remember actually I was a kid. I remember the day I seen that movie because
Yeah.
my sister took me as a kid, because her and I, like, we told you not to get off topic here, but I told you before, is that was our very first Silent Hill we ever played, was Silent Hill 3. And the reason why I remember
Mhm.
that day was she took me to Cold Stone, which I never been to, so that was cool. And I never had that kind of ice cream or anything. And then fucking she
Yeah.
bought
Did they
me.
do the thing where they throw it
Yeah,
up in the air
yeah,
and catch it
yeah,
on
they
the
did,
yeah.
yeah. And I remember I got the cotton candy with gummy bears because that was a thing. Anyway, and then I got my Waka Flocka Flame album, Flockavilly 2 or 3, I believe. And yeah, then we saw
Mhm.
Silent Hill. And I remember I seen it. I was like, "Oh my God, this is Heather Mason," and she was all like, "Yeah." And I remember watching the film. And me, even as a kid, which we're not talking about that one right now, but I was like, "This isn't the game." At all. Like, there's Heather, but at the time I didn't know the detective was
Yeah.
in it, but I did rewatch it later because actually I showed my wife that movie during COVID actually. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay, there is a detective in it. So anyway, back to Silent Hill. Return to Silent
Yeah.
Hill though.
Um, okay, so about the Woodside Apartments, I said that it looks cool,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it kinda
but
matched up,
if
like, it
you
kinda.
notice if you notice the windows, did you notice the windows?
I did not.
They were red and they were squares.
Nuh-uh.
If you look at the background,
Oh, damn, I'm
in
about
the
to look this
background,
up.
the windows are red. And yeah, just pull up like Return to Silent Hill, Woodside Apartments, and look at a scene. There's gonna be a set of windows that are red, like the save points in the film or in the game.
Of course they don't have it on Google.
Of
Let me
course
let
they
me let
don't.
me try to type in movie. I even typed in Return to Silent Hill and it brought up the games. No,
Yeah.
they don't have it on Google or anything.
No.
Fuck.
Okay.
And now I wish
That's
I would
fine.
have paid attention.
But it was just like
Really?
it's a little thing that I paid. Yeah, I noticed it even like when I first saw the movie, and then like the second time this last week.
I didn't even catch it.
Um, and at this point in the movie, we notice that moths are a theme.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. For James, I mentioned that James is really good at finding secret tunnels, and sometimes he looks like a Timu Sam from Supernatural, the TV show. Jared Padalecki. If you ever look up him as an actor and then look at like James in the movie, they're pretty much it's I'm sorry, Jeremy Irvine, but you look like a Timu version of Jared Padalecki, and I don't know why Christoph Gans tried
Again, I'm not
to make that
asking for a
happen, but
100%, but like, dude didn't even look like James. It didn't even have the hair like James. He
I mean, if
wasn't
we're gonna put a wig
James.
on a woman 4 times in a row, we
Yeah,
may as
dude,
well
fucking put a
just put a
blonde
wig on a
hair, dude.
guy.
Like, I mean, fuck it, dude. Even
Or
do
put, like,
the
some
PlayStation
highlights, like
2 fucking block hair on him, bro. Like, fuck it. I'll take that. Like,
Right. So it's about this point in the game where, oh, yeah, I mentioned the homecoming needlers appearing.
yeah,
It's about this point where Mary shows up, and I said that Maria comes off way too intense when
that's what
she
my
shows
wife
up.
said too. She was like heavy on it,
Yeah.
which I didn't really
And okay,
like
so and
either.
this goes back to my negatives where I said this goes back to my negatives where I felt like the scenes were not coherent. The
Right.
pacing was not coherent because the thing about this movie is that it goes and you get into a rhythm, into a flow, and then James does this thing, not like in the book, where he goes, "Oh, this reminded me of a thing," and so it flashbacks to a whole other scene, and the
Yeah.
pacing is slowed down way fucking down, and then it jumps back to the scene that we were just in, if not like a little bit later, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
And I'm just like whiplashed by the pacing. Um, at this point, I also noticed that they did the original Maria costume. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll give
Appreciate it.
brownie points to that.
Let's give them the kudos for that. Maria leads James to Rest Haven Hospital for like no reason.
Yeah. Oh, and let's point out the
Okay?
fact too. I hate to say this, but in the game, we kind of miss a little tidbit here. In the game, James is head over heels over his wife, even though he did terrible stuff to her when she was, in cancer. Um, but in the movie, even my wife pointed this out, and I was definitely complaining about this, was how he put his hands on Mary and got into a physical fight with her, low key domestic violence, because he was drunk. And I
Yeah.
was like, he would never
Yeah.
do that in the game. He would never harm like
Yeah.
because I should say he wouldn't do that in the game, but how the game portrays him as he was head over heels over his wife. And then when I see him putting his hands and
Right.
shit on his wife in the movie, I'm like, he didn't come off like that in the
Yeah.
game at all.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Um, I yeah, there's I mean, he pretty much said it. Maria gets stabbed by a nurse, and then okay,
Yeah.
sometime later, Maria gets stabbed by Pyramid Head Daddy. Okay, so
Oh, the wife brought that one up too.
at first I was kind of like whiplash. I was like, oh wait, why did she get stabbed by a nurse? And I was like, uh, okay, not your daddy's Silent Hill 2. But then he manifests. This is the part where I was telling you, and this goes back to my negatives, that don't insult me as a watcher. Don't insult me as a viewer of your movie or your content. Um, I know that I know Pyramid Head represented James, okay?
Right.
His executioner, punisher, judge, jury, and witness to his guilt.
Right.
Um, it was alluded to multiple times throughout this whole film, but then they really kind of put it in when he like put his hands on his head, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden Pyramid Head shows up and just completely cuts her. But here's the thing, they did the upside down face shot of Maria when she gets executed in the video game. So like tit for tat, but like at the same time, don't insult my intelligence
Oh yeah.
at the end of the day. Um okay, so okay. James is no stranger to the classic 1990s 2000 angry arts montage.
Yeah.
Lols. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
So when this whole sequence is going down, he's painting a painting of himself, and then he
Right.
takes like red ink and he like
Yeah.
slabs a pyramid on him, and again insulting my intelligence. Um, that
It's him.
yeah, okay, so anyway, it was very 1990s, very 2000s, where it's like the frustrated,
Yeah.
painter doing the thing,
Off
drunk or
yeah,
otherwise,
as I
and
say,
I
off
was
of
just like
substances. Yeah.
yeah, and I was just but even like in old teen movies from like the early 2000s, if you ever go back and like deep dive into like, I don't know, Dude, Where's My Car, Euro Trip,
Oh,
um,
dude, Euro trip.
Road Trip is another
Yeah,
one.
road
You
trip.
know, all the greats.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that it's a montage, it's a trope, and I don't know if Christoph Gans was like, "Hey, why not?" Like
Why is he
it's a
paying her?
vibe. Like,
Why is his wife his girlfriend? Why is she in a cult? I got so many questions by this point. We're not even through the movie yet, you know? Why is he smoking
yeah,
weed?
and then
Again,
we
I'm
get to
not
the
against
point.
weed smokers, bro. Like, I'm all for yeah, I'm all for it, bro. Goes, but we're specifically talking about the game slash movie here. He doesn't smoke weed in the game, bro. Why the fuck is he a pothead now?
I wrote down next that James grows a Timu beard.
Yeah. Yeah, that too, man.
Like, even okay, so I had an excuse. I walked out of the movie with an excuse that James's Timu beard was probably because it was on the silver screen, the big screen, and I can just see it, you know?
Yeah.
And then I watched it at home and I was like, "Oh, it's just as bad at home as it was on the silver screen." That's crazy.
Yeah.
And in the same scene, Mary doesn't die from a pillow, she dies by a
But
rag.
yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
Man.
I don't know if it's the way that she goes out or if it just
Why is she
I
in
don't
a
know how
cult? Why is the cult killing her? Why is it his girlfriend? I got so many questions.
why why does Mary have a dad? Not that she's not allowed to. Everyone has a dad,
Oh
but and
yeah,
everyone
but
has a mom, but like
uh
they kind of shoehorned this mythology that her dad was a leader of a cult,
yeah.
and since she's the offspring of that cult, they were essentially like using her body
As
in
the sacrifice, I felt
cultish
it made
ways
me feel
as
like
a
she was
sacrifice,
Alyssa.
essentially.
That's literally what it made me feel like.
Yeah,
And by the way, again, the
yeah.
reason why we're complaining about this because Silent Hill 2 is its own fucking story. Why is it connected to Silent Hill? For the millionth time.
Aside from title alone. maybe location, random things like that.
Dude.
Um, by this point, we get to the Lakeview Hotel. It's on fire, but James is
Yeah.
wet.
Yeah, rise up
Don't know how
to
he got across
yeah.
that lake,
By the
but
way, again,
oh, can we talk about the in between part?
oh yeah.
The part where he's at the hospital, but then he like wakes up and he's like in a whole
Yeah, again,
other
I'm not asking for a
alternate
3 minute.
reality.
I'm not asking for a 3 minute boat scene real quick, but like, what the fuck? But anyway, what you were saying?
Yeah.
Well,
There's a whole scene where they tangent really hard, and again, like I said, this movie does a whiplash of pacing. So when
it
he's at the
really does.
hospital, he has a memory lapse, if you will, and now he's at a hospital and it's all beautiful, clean,
Right.
pristine. His therapist shows up and she's just like, "Are we really gonna go through this again?" And he's just like staring out the window. He sees two people walking hand in hand. A moth shows up, and then he's back in Silent Hill
I
again.
ain't gonna lie. I thought that was a
Um,
psych ward. I didn't know that was a hospital. I'll be honest with you.
well,
I really
hospital,
thought.
psych ward, like, it's interchangeable. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: it's kind of one of those scenes where I was just like, this is easily something you can cut out for runtime. I don't
Yeah.
know why it's here. I don't understand the additive of this scene, and it doesn't make me feel like it gave like every scene should have something
Mhm.
that like tells you the story, and this didn't do that.
The
I
whole
don't, I
movie
don't
didn't, but
understand.
like you
Yeah,
said, it
well,
did
I
jump a
guess
lot
overall,
though. It really did. It was like you're
yeah.
at this scene, then he has a flashback, and it's like, oh, you're over here in La La Land. Then it's like, bam, and then it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, you're over here in La La Land, like you're loving your girlfriend. You're painting a picture of her in a field. It's bam. I'm like, what is going on, dude?
Yeah. To be honest, like, if you really wanted to do it, I think, like, if we could, like, really do the story justice, set up a love story first,
Yeah,
really short and sweet, because, like, I'm sorry to say this, but, like, the quickest like, Twilight took 4 or 5 movies to create a love story. Disney's Up made a 2-minute love story between a
yeah.
guy and a girl who grow old together. She dies, and he decides to
His
take
life is
balloons
fucked
and
up.
lift his house.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I
but
hate to say it.
I was crying to a Disney film that
2
made a
minutes,
better love story than
bro.
Twilight, you know?
I don't know
Like
if you ever play it, and if you never have, I highly recommend it. A lot of people actually didn't like this game. Me as a biker, I love this game, but it kind of can. I shouldn't say kind of. It does connect to this. Days Gone did a
oh,
beautiful
yes,
fucking love story
yes,
because it showed you how you lost your wife. You're trying to find her, and then in the
yep,
middle of finding her, it did those like, oh, here's the Sunny. This is how we met, and this is how we fell in
yeah,
love. Now we're getting married, and then yeah, no, not Silent Hill
yeah,
or not Return to Silent Hill. It was like bam, 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 bam. I mean, that's the best way to
yeah,
describe it. It really did. And between those bands I was
yeah,
doing, it's like, oh, here's something that had nothing to portray to this band, by the way. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Um, at this point of the movie, um, Laura pulls an Alessa and says, "You're finally here." And if you don't remember, in the first film, Rose makes it to the very bottom of the hospital, Alchemilla Hospital, and when she goes into that room and it's a bright white light and everything, she says, "You did it. You made it. You're finally here.
I did not
Let me
connect
tell
that.
you the story." And in my head, I was like, when Laura does her little crawl over the
Yeah, it's
couch, and
creepy.
she's like, "You're finally here." I'm like, "Okay, wannabe Alessa, this is not your swim lane. Stay the fuck out of here.
Not only
You're
that,
supposed to be the innocent child
even my
who does not have
wife
anything to do with this."
commented on that. Why the fuck does
Ugh,
she have a baby? It's not
yeah,
it's not her teddy bear or whatever she carries around. It's a full on one. It starts off as a doll, but as he's tripping the
yeah,
fuck out, then it's a live dead baby. I'm like, what in the fuck is
yeah.
this?
I I don't know. I don't get it. I wish
Oh,
I knew the answer, and
oh,
again, like I said, the thing so that's, like, one of those things where, like, the nuance of it should be explained, because if you're gonna put that into the movie,
yeah.
explain the reason why Laura has a doll or has a baby doll, but you don't do that. You explain and insult my intelligence in informing me that Pyramid Head is James's guilt,
Oh, and by the way,
punisher,
all the boss
judge, jury,
scenes,
and witness,
since we've been talking about them,
you
are
know?
shitty as fuck. Like when Laura locks him in, I was like, okay, this is where we go get our first boss, just like in Silent Hill. What the fuck was that? Then you got I'm not gonna talk
Yo,
about
I
the
was
last
kinda
one
jealous
yet.
because I was kinda jealous, you know why? Okay, because that monster, all the hands come down and grab for him, and then one of
Yeah.
them goes straight into his mouth, and bro, I have never seen a man take a full fist in his mouth before, let alone down the esophagus, but I was
Oh.
like, as a community of the LGBTQIA+ community, I was like, "God damn." Like, James literally took it like a champ.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, it's I was like, so
Um,
that was a bummer. And then the second boss was definitely a bummer. And then when we get to the ending, I'll explain that fucking scene.
yeah, 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 at that point, Angela's daddy issues becomes Mary's.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote down, and I was very disappointed when I wrote that down. I was as soon as I wrote it down, I was like, "Damn." Again, going back, don't sacrifice strong characters. That is the thesis of this
And
movie.
that's the
They
problem that I have
sacrifice
with it.
strong
I was so
characters.
excited to see that boss fight. I was so excited to see
Yeah.
honestly, my main thing I was excited. By the way, after that boss fight, if you would call that in the movie, I was so excited to
Mhm.
see the whole Angela scene where everything's on fire because the hotel was on fire, or the hotel. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
so excited to see that scene where Angela was like, "Oh, you see this hell too, or you see the fire too. Like, yeah, this is my hell." You know,
Yeah,
I was
right.
so excited. And nah, nope, didn't get that.
Well, again, that's a tell because Angela's hell was always on fire,
Yeah,
Eddie's was always cold.
right.
Laura never had an experience in Silent Hill.
Yeah,
She never had one. Um, and James was always in rustic,
I
industrial,
always said
twisted
purgatory,
labyrinth,
but
purgatory kind of style, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and oh, by the way, I wrote that down. Pyro guy showed up to work.
Oh yeah. all the,
Pyre, the
all the,
pyro guy,
yeah.
the fire. Because when he gets onto the rooftop, like all the things are on fire and everything.
Oh, we didn't get
And
a
then
Maria
the
Pyramid
ending.
set. Hold on, before we get there. We didn't get a Maria Pyramid head
Oh
thing,
yeah, yeah.
which again, I'm not asking for
No,
100%
what we
accuracy,
do.
but I was really excited
Okay, so you wanted that over at the hotel, but what we got was in that maze
for it.
section
Yeah,
earlier
she
on in the film.
fucking even my wife.
That was that scene. Yeah, that was that scene.
Which it would
So
have
we
been
kind
hard
of
to
got
do.
it, but
I
we
tell
didn't get it.
myself that all the time. I was like, even if they did do the two pyramid head fight scene, it would have been kind of hard to do. As a movie, I
Yeah.
would like to think because how would you run around, boom, boom, run around, boom, boom, But
Well, they somehow made Pyramid Head show up and do
oh,
a full
we
on
didn't
battle
talk
in
about the
Silent Hill
main thing.
Revelations.
Pyramid Head doesn't even look like what he normally looks like. He has fucking barbs and shit in the middle of his stuff. We'll point that out real quick.
Eh,
Honestly, though, out of all the
stylistic
designs,
choices.
it's not a bad design though. At that point, though,
No,
I hate to
not
say
bad
it,
design.
you could have done just the homecoming pyramid head where it's really pointy. But it's not a bad design.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Um, what do
Oh
you
yeah,
think about the
the
last
ending.
scene where you
Let me
see
get to
Maria's
this
bed
part.
and it
Let me
lifts up
get to this fucking
and
point. So
yeah.
this is the main thing I wanted to talk about. Thank you for bringing this up. So we're at the ending of the movie after all this bullshit we've been talking about. Yeah, I'm glad that you had chugged that. Uh, my
No,
life.
no, no. What we think is the end of the movie.
Okay.
Is there like a disco going on over at your place? I was gonna say, keep it going. That was
No, no.
very interesting for
Sometimes
me.
I have no idea what the fuck that was. Anyway, so uh my shit's haunted. Anyway, what happened was
Speaking of haunted.
is I was so excited to see that scene. I was so excited to see what
Yeah.
his girlfriend, aka or the even in the game was gonna be upside down in the bed, fight scene, so dope. I was ready for it. I was like, let's fucking go, bro. I was still holding on to the movie at this point, and dude, all he does is touch,
Float.
and then yeah, you freeze her.
That's all he's doing. He's
That's
just
all.
floating.
That's it. There's a little like
Yeah.
touch. And I was like, what the fuck was that, dude? What? No.
And then we get
No.
and then Christoph Gans, but then here's the real here again, insult to our intelligence. Christoph Gans decides that we're gonna do all the endings, that
Yeah.
not one ending is the true
And I
ending.
know why he did that.
So
I
right
still
off the
say it
bat,
real quick, not to cut you off, but I still say it to this day. I feel like he did that just to save his fucking ass, even though he fucked up the whole movie, but he did that because he didn't know what the true ending was and he didn't want to piss people off. Me personally, though, for you guys
Dom,
who have played the
I
game, what
feel
do you think
like
the true ending is, by the way? What's up?
if this podcast ever gets to a place where we could have like guests, like, oh gee, I don't know, Christoph Gans
Yeah.
to like talk about his movie, we're gonna have this episode that he's gonna look back at, and when you say save his ass, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to address this."
He would have a lawyer against me. I won't lie, because I would put him in his place. I would go to court and I would get sued. Chris,
So
am I allowed to say it?
sure, why not?
Don't ever make another fucking movie again. Please do us a favor.
Uh, Please, yeah, do us a favor. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. You had a
Actually,
$23
besides
million dollar
Silent Hill,
budget, and you boxed off.
I'll do the honor while you talk. I don't even know what other movies he made, but for Silent Hill purpose, don't ever make another fucking movie.
Um,
Oh, he's French?
so we
I
get the
did not
water
know that.
ending. He is French, yeah. Um, so we get the in water ending where James throws Mary's body into the front seat, and he just dives off and goes right into Toluca Lake.
True
This is
ending.
again where that uncanny valley. I'm sorry.
True ending. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
water
yeah,
ending's
yeah.
true ending. By the way, all these
Um,
movies that he made,
the
never
only
heard of.
problem that I had. No, you won't because they're overseas. Um, which is why I didn't bother bringing them up because the
No,
only
you're
ones
good.
that seem to make it across the
Silent Hill.
Atlantic are Silent Hill.
Literally.
Yeah. Um, and so again, this uncanny valley moment happens where he relies on CGI to cover up this scene.
Yep.
So everything is very uncanny valley for me. And then he does Leaving, where that ending is then wiped away, and then he remembers what it was like leaving Silent Hill
Right.
with Mary in his car. And in that moment, it feels like, is this another loop? Is he, resolved? Is he not? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So they really try to aim for all the endings, um, never answering one, and then just segues right into the theme of Lara by Akira Yamaoka.
Yep.
Um, Rotten Tomatoes, as of today, has it at 18%. IMDb has it at a 4 out of 10. And myself, if I was to ever have this movie on, it's only to be background noise. I would not expect someone to actually pay attention to it. It'd be kind of like one of those B movies that's like it's there, but like, and I guess like if I had nothing else better to do, I would sit down and watch it, but I
Absolutely.
would still be upset
Like if
about
I was to hang
watching
out
it.
with you and you put it on, I'll watch it, you know. But besides
Yeah.
that, also to report back to what you said though, if we ever did get Chris on our podcast, which mind you, mad respect, I would love to actually talk to him And
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
yeah, not to hate on him or anything, be like, yo, your fucking last movie was dog shit. I would actually like to deep down and ask him, like, okay, why did you go this route? Why did you do this? Also, not to end it off with everything, we'll do our review here in a second. The final
Mhm.
thing I gotta say is that you possibly missed out on slash didn't write down is he did the only thing. This is what I was gonna say. The only positive that I have out of this whole movie, which you were mentioning earlier, was
Yeah, mhm.
he did do the lore that everybody thought was true, which was the why can't I think of the word right now? The
And water ending?
no. The lore that
The
is
lore
not
that
that it's not an actual ending, but people made the assumptions
Oh,
because
the
James
loop, the
the
loop?
loop ending. He did do that, which I would
Yeah.
say was a positive to the movie because at the very end of the movie, he meets up with his wife again. She goes, "Oh, sorry, I dropped my briefcase again. Hi, I'm," and he cuts her off and says her name, and she's like, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then that's when the credits roll. So he did do the loop
Right.
ending, which is mad respect because you did understood that part. But what the fuck else was the
The one
rest?
thing.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
review
wanna
for you
know
though, real quick.
my 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 one question would be for Christoph Gans
Yeah,
is, what part was Sandra Von Oz, part? What part was William Schneider's part? Because then then we would know what exactly, as far as the screenplay is considered, what part was he a part of,
we
you
missed the
know?
most important part about this whole movie, which I gotta bring up now late.
What's that?
The fact that Laura, or I think it was Laura, was named,
Oh, the
yeah,
names! Oh my god.
was named fucking all the names.
All the names. So,
Oh,
like, when you meet someone and they're like, my name is, Matthew Mark Will Schneider," and you're
right.
just like, "God damn, dude, do you have, like, all the first names? Like, could you save some for people
And
who only have,
Laura's
like, a first
name
and last name? That'd be
was
great."
fucking Mary Maria.
No, Mary Angela Laura
That's
Crane.
it.
Don't worry, I wrote it down.
And it's like, again, not a part of the game at all. Where the fuck did that come from? That's what I would like to ask him.
Yeah.
Again, like how I'm saying this right now because I'm worked up and now I'm pissed. It's coming off very aggressive, but I would honestly love for him to join our podcast and just be like, okay, so why? I would like to actually ask him, like, why did you do this scene that way? Why did you? I would like to ask a lot of why questions and just hear why, and then maybe
I
it
would
would
just lean
actually
in
make
and just be
sense.
like this. I would just be like this, "Christoph Gans, you need to explain yourself."
Oh no, for me to have this conversation,
And then just let him talk for the next
I'd be like how James was at Havana Nights in the movie. Like I'd be blacked out drunk and be like, yeah, like getting kicked out and thrown into
Yeah,
black garbage bags because Havana Nights
there's
is
a
now not a strip club.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, right. It's the way that, you're not wrong about that, and again, like, I feel like we would have a lot of we would have to, like, tailor it down to 10 questions each between the 2 of us,
Maybe it would make sense though if we
because that's
actually
too
heard it
many
from the
questions to
man
ask him.
himself. And if he did make it make sense to me, I would love to
He hasn't
rewatch the
s
movie.
I just wanna know what part he's responsible for, because clearly he's on the
Everything.
front line taking them. I don't know who this Sandra Von Ah or William Schneider guy is, because neither of those 2 have spoken about the script at all.
Yeah.
I have scoured and tried to look for these 2. I don't know what other films they've ever worked on. And again, this film is pretty much a lot of B movie, like a B actors that again, like if you don't know like their movies, then like you're
You
not
wouldn't
gonna
have
find
any
them
idea.
anywhere.
Um,
Um,
what would you rate this
yeah.
movie, by the way?
On a scale of oh god, we do have a scale.
We
I
do
totally
have a
forgot about
scale.
this.
I don't worry, I
Hold
didn't even
on.
look at it.
Okay, between Tis Peak, it is not Tis Peak, my lord. It does not get the job done. I don't even. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. Sorry.
I don't think it's on our fucking
Tis Peak,
scale
my
thing, but
lord.
I'll just say, yeah, this ain't it. But if I could rank it without our scale, I would just stay silent. That's how I'd say as silent as hill. That that's how I would
Yeah.
put that. Anyway,
Yeah.
anything else, Sean, on your part?
I no, not about Silent Return to Silent Hill. I
Oh,
will
that's
say though
right.
that as I have oh
You have your thing.
oh yeah, that's right. I do have we do have some deep lore to get into. So wrapping up Return to Silent Hill, I have watched the movie twice,
Shout out
between
to you.
January and now, and I have coworkers and friends who have asked me about the movie, and I told them as soon as I got back from the movie theater, I wouldn't go watch it. Go play the
Oh,
video
I
game.
do have a
Um,
review from my one buddy who has played the game and also seen the movie. He was even asking me before I watched the movie, what do you think? And this is what he said. I said, "So, how did you like the movie?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was all over the place, man." I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, it didn't come as close as the game." That's literally what he said.
yeah, 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 for sure. How about you?
Oh no, I'm all good, man.
Anything left? Yeah, you're spent? Okay. So, all right. So for today, for this podcast, Deep Lore, Urban Legends, we're gonna get into the house that spirits built, the Winchester Mystery
Which
House.
Sean
If you
has
are a
asked
California native,
me
you may know.
about that, about this off live stream, and I'd never heard this lore, so I'm actually very excited about this.
Okay, so in the heart of San Jose, California, stands a sprawling architectural anomaly which defies logic. With 160 rooms, stairs leading into ceilings, and doors open onto sheer drops, the Winchester Mystery House is more than just a historical landmark. It's a monument to grief, guilt, and the supernatural. For decades, the house has been the subject of hushed whispers and ghost stories. But what drove a grieving widow to spend 38 years in a state of constant construction? Let's step inside the labyrinth to explore the origins of the chilling lore of the Victorian enigma. A fortune forged in gunpowder. The story begins not with a ghost, but with a rifle. Sarah Winchester was the daughter in law of Oliver Winchester, the manufacturer of the famous Winchester repeating rifle, or, as most know, as the gun that won the West. After the tragic deaths of her infant daughter and her husband, William, Sarah was left with an unfathomable fortune of 20 million and a 50% stake in the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, earning her roughly $1,000 a day in the 19th century's money. Um, Distraught and seeking answers, legend says Sarah consulted a medium in Boston. The medium allegedly told her that her family was cursed by the spirits of every person killed by the Winchester rifle, including soldiers, outlaws, innocent victims alike. To appease these restless souls, Sarah was told she must move west and build a home for them. The catch? If the construction ever stopped, the spirits would take her life. In 1884, Sarah purchased an 8-room farmhouse in Santa Clara Valley and began renovation project that would last until her death in 1922. Yeah. The Winchester Mystery House wasn't built for comfort, it was built for confusion. Sarah acted as her own architect, often sketching bizarre room additions on napkins and scraps of paper. The result is a structure that feels like a MC Escher drawing brought to life. If you don't know who MC Escher is, if you've ever seen a picture of the labyrinth that has like the stairs going this way and
Oh
stairs going
yeah.
that way and stairs going this way and stairs going, that's essentially what her house looks like. Um, um, the house was filled with traps, air quote, designed to lose or confuse spirits. And there are stairways to literally nowhere, ending abruptly into ceilings and doors that literally go to nowhere, opening to a two-story drop to the garden below. Some hallways are so narrow only one person can pass, while others twist into dizzying circles. Sarah was obsessed with the number 13. Nearly every aspect of the house reflects this. Many windows have 13 panes of glass. The switchback staircase has 13 flights. Several ceilings have 13 panels. Even Sarah's will was divided into 13 sections and signed 13 times. At the center of the house lies a seance room, a private chamber where Sarah repeatedly, or was reportedly, went every night at midnight to communicate with the spirits. Legend says she would wear a different colored robe for each season and receive blueprints from the ghosts on how to continue the construction to keep them at bay. So here's some modern perspective for everybody. While the legend of the haunting is what draws thousands of tourists today, historians offer a more grounded, though still fascinating perspective about this. Some suggest Sarah wasn't hiding from ghosts, but was simply an eccentric, wealthy woman with passion for architecture and a desire to provide continuous employment to local craftsmen. Others point to the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which severely damaged the house. Many of the bizarre architectural dead ends might simply be places where Sarah chose to wall off damaged sections rather than repair them. And whether she was a woman driven by supernatural terror or a grieving widow finding solace in a never ending project, the Winchester Mystery House remains a masterpiece of the macabre. Visiting the Labyrinth. Today, the house is a California historical landmark. Visitors will still report footsteps in the empty hallways, seeing the man in the overalls, a ghost handyman, and feeling sudden cold spots in the seance room. If you ever find yourself in San Jose, remember to stay with your tour guide in a house designed to trap the dead. It's remarkably easy for the living to also get lost. And that is the Winchester Mystery
That's
House.
cool, man. I want to see that. Now,
It's really beautiful.
oh yeah,
It's really beautiful architecture.
that's cool. As for our audience, questions, comments, etc., for our future episodes, like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for our mods and listeners. I don't know what they are because there was some listen. I'm sorry if you know. I know Light Bright Indie.
There's so many of them.
Yeah,
Library Brandy, King J935, Go Johnny Go 85, Leave It to Me, and
you and
I think
myself. I
that's
know
about
that.
it.
So where you're?
Yeah, you and myself.
Oh yeah, and Sean, where can they follow you at?
Okay, so they can follow me over at seangraves.net and all the links and socials that are on that website, as well as theevilhour.com.
I am Rastrophic, and that is on Twitch and YouTube. And if you want to follow for my motovlog, that is that Street Bob guy. And next time we'll try to do the same thing every night, surviving. My name is Dominic, and this dude right here is
I'm Sean Graves.
wishing you all the best. Until next episode.
Unpleasant dreams, everyone.